Hi guys, Mons here. On this episode of Ball Month, we're going to be looking at the Lakers versus the Rockets Game 5 review. Just before I get started, if you haven't subscribed to my channel so far, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, I do appreciate all the support. So let me just get right to business here. It's going to be a quick review from last night's Game 5 between the Lakers and the Rockets NBA Playoff Round 1 Game 5. So in this game, I predicted the Lakers are going to close the game out and they're going to win the series out in Los Angeles. For me, it was a complete disappointment on the night. I thought the game started really well. Lakers actually started brilliantly. There was good intensity to start off. Marcus Smart and LeBron James set the tone, and they were very good defensively, getting some steals and getting some easy basket for everyone on the team. However, what I would say after the first quarter, Lakers held the Rockets to 21 points in the first quarter, which was absolutely fantastic. So it was great defense in the first quarter. And what I would say also is DeAndre Ayton had a game of his life. He was absolutely fantastic. He was the only one that escaped criticism last night from me, in my opinion. He had a fantastic game. He was brilliant on the offensive board. That was the game that the Lakers need to win, because if you need to win game in this series, you need DeAndre Ayton to have a very, very good game, in my opinion. For me, I just think the Lakers thought they had won after the first quarter, and it came out very, very lax in the second quarter, and the Rockets made them pay for it. It's good to see Austin Reeves back. He had his very first shot was a long three, and he absolutely switched it. However, overall, I thought Austin Reeves had a poor game, but that's expected. He's been out for a month. It's going to be rusty. For me, he made a huge difference from the ball handling skills. Austin Reeves made a huge difference for me for the ball handling skills for the Lakers. It was absolutely fantastic in handling the ball. However, overall, in terms of shooting, offensively, I think he had a very poor night. But like I said, that's expected. He's been out for a month. Lakers had a 7-point lead from the first quarter. Like I said, held the Rockets to 21 points in the first quarter. And what I would say is Luke Kennard had a fantastic first 2 games. And ever since then, the Rockets coach, Ime Udoka, made a very. So Luke Kennard had a very good game in the first 2 games of this series. However, Ime Udoka the Rockets coach made a very good adjustment to put Amen Thompson on Luke Kennard. And ever since then, Luke Kennard has been in prison. Amen Thompson is a fantastic athlete, fantastic player, and he's had my guy Luke Kennard in absolute prison. And I think Luke Kennard's got the yips. He's only shooting. He started the series off, I think, over 45% from 3. Now he's 1 out of 11 from his last 11 shots from 3, and that's absolutely terrible, because Lakers need that shooting. Lakers need scorers on the offensive end, because Lakers offensively aren't great if LeBron James isn't hitting his jump shot. And what I would say about LeBron as well, I felt LeBron had a very poor game in this game. I know the numbers are going to tell you differently in terms of his points. I think he had 25 or 28 points. However, I felt offensively he needed to be more assertive throughout the game. I know it's hard for him. He's very old, and he always saves his energy for the fourth quarter. But for me, when he started taking over in the fourth quarter, I felt it was too late for me, in my opinion. I just feel LeBron was being more laid back, because he wanted Austin Reeves to get back into rhythm, in my opinion. However, this is a game 5 at home. I just don't think you could let the Rockets back into this game. Now the Rockets are full of confidence. They're the one, for me, I know Lakers are 3-2 up. However, like I said, Lakers should have lost game 3. Rockets were up 6 with 6 seconds to go, but somehow Lakers won it, because Rockets had a brain fart. The young players on Rockets had a brain fart. So Lakers actually should be down 3-2 in this series, if you think about it, because Rockets have the best players, except for LeBron James. He's the only one that would actually get on the Rockets team. And for me, going back to Houston for game 6, that's a scary thought for me, because I feel the last time we saw Lakers with a 1 day rest between game, they look absolutely exhausted. So I think tomorrow night in Houston, I think the Lakers are going to get blown out, and it's going to come back to a game 7 in LA on Sunday. So in the second quarter, the turnovers were absolutely killing the Lakers. Lakers were absolutely turning the ball over. And one of the most disturbing stats from this series has been Lakers has averaged 15 turnovers per game in every single game this series. That is just not sustainable. You cannot win a series if you're turning the ball over like that to a young athletic team that like to push the ball like the Rockets team. So that's something JJ Redick needs to look at, and that's something the team needs to be more careful of handling the ball, in my opinion. The Rockets got really, really hot from three. In this series, I think the Rockets were shooting low 30% from three for the first two games. However, the last two games, they've been shooting, I think they'll be shooting 44% from the floor. And the Rockets absolutely got really, really, really hot from three in this one. I think they made 8 threes in the first two quarters in this game, and the Rockets had a 4 point halftime lead. It was, for me, the Lakers just looked dead. They looked dead. They were completely dead from three. Rui Hachimura kept hesitating every single time he got a free open shot from three, try to work it inside for a jump shot. I know his jump shot is good, but you're open up for three, corner three. That's your bread and butter. You're shooting 47% from trees this season. So hit some trees, Rui Hachimura. That's what you're good at as well. So I was very, very confused. It wasn't hitting that. And then the third quarter came. There was an early 9 point lead for the Rockets. For me, this is where I felt the game was going. And I felt LeBron needed to be more assertive in this quarter, because this quarter is where I felt the Lakers lost the game, in my opinion. And then the drive and kick were absolutely killing the Lakers, because the Lakers absolutely packed the lane because how physical the Houston team were. And obviously the 3 point shot wasn't falling for them early on in the series. But now, the last two games, it's been falling for the Houston Rockets. They're shooting absolutely lights out. And Jabari Smith Jr. was shooting lights out. Tyree Eason shooting lights out. Even Amen Thompson, when you leave open, he's like 28% shooting from three for the season. He hit two huge three. And they had Dorian Finney-Smith from the bench hit two huge three as well. And then you have Reed Shepherd hitting trees as well. So for me, that's what killed the Lakers in this one. And JJ Redick, brother, I've given you credit so far this series. You need to make that adjustment, because you saw the Rockets were hot from three. You need to make sure they weren't getting more trees up, in my opinion. The players have to be better switching the defense, in my opinion. Like I said, LeBron started to be more assertive, but for me, I just felt it was way too late for me. And going into the fourth quarter, the Rockets had a 9 point lead, and for me, I just felt the game was gone in this one. But Lakers actually got it down to, I think, 3 points at one stage or 2 points at one stage. Lakers went an 11-3 run, and it was fantastic. LeBron was just dominating. But this is the old LeBron. We can't expect him to do this for about 40 minutes plus. He doesn't have it in him anymore, unfortunately, because he's 41 years old, year 23. However, I do feel like Reeves let him down, but Reeves on it back. Marcus Smart had a bonehead turnover. I've praised Marcus Smart a lot in this series, but this game, it was one of his poorest games in terms of the turnovers at a critical time for me as well. But DeAndre Ayton was absolutely fantastic. I cannot blame DeAndre Ayton for this. He was absolutely huge. And then LeBron had a bonehead turnover as well to Reed Shepherd. Reed Shepherd, he made two huge buckets from so the lead extended from 3 to 7. That it was a huge turnaround for me, in my opinion, from one possession game to an over 3 possession game, and there was only 40 seconds left. And LeBron shooting from the three in the last two games have been absolutely atrocious, in my opinion. LeBron went 0 for 6. That's abysmal. I'll be the first person to be like, oh, LeBron is the best of all time. He's my favorite player. However, when he's playing poor, I'll come on here and I'll criticize him as well. 0 from 6 from three is absolutely abysmal for me. Offensively, he was awful tonight. I know the stats are going to tell you different, but for me, I think his jump shot needs to be falling. LeBron James' jump shot needs to be falling for me at this late stage in his career, because he can't be physically dominant like he was a couple of years ago for a long period of time in games. So for me, this has to be a huge change in Game 6. However, like I said, for Game 6, I think it's going to be a tough game. I actually think Houston Rockets have the momentum now to go to a Game 6, win that, and bring it back to LA for a Game 7, in my opinion. And we saw what it's like when Lakers only have a day rest, so it's scary hours. I don't want my guy LeBron to be the first guy to lose from being 3-0 up in a series. I'm going to be cooked on here. I'm actually going to be cooked, in my opinion, because everyone knows I'm one of LeBron's biggest fan, and everyone's just going to be killing me online, killing me in person as well. If LeBron is the first person in NBA history with a team that loses a series after being up 3-0, so please, Lakers, you can't lose this one for me. So get it done. Peace out. Thanks for watching my video, and please hit the subscribe button.